Alright, what's up gang? Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different than the regular type of videos that we make on here, but I've been talking about making a tier list for a while, and you guys voted that it's one of the videos you were most interested in seeing, so we're going to go ahead and make an Avatar The Last Airbender tier list. Just based on how good of a character I think these characters are. Avatar's full of awesome characters, but I think it'd be fun to rank them. So, starting off, we've got Aang, we've got the main character of the series, and I think that Aang deserves to go in S tier. His character development throughout the show, him growing up, accepting who he is as the Avatar, and what goes along with that role. Especially as a 12-year-old kid, like, I just think he's a super complex and interesting character, and I think he deserves to be an S tier. Moving on from there, we have Bato, Bato of the Water Tribe. Bato's just a side character. He's got a super small role. He only appears a few times. I'm gonna put him at C because at least he's kind of interesting. We meet him for the first time, and Sokka and Katara obviously know who he is. He's from their village. He's, close to their dad. And he's at least an interesting side character, but he doesn't provide a whole lot more beyond that. So I think C tier is good for Bato. Then we have Combustion Man, who, again, is a pretty small role, but he's such a cool and unique character that I think he can go at least in B tier. He doesn't really speak, and he is just kind of a menacing force that the gang has to deal with, but he adds a lot to the show, I think, and he's a cool character, and I think he deserves to go in B tier. We got the Cabbage Guy. Cabbage Guy's awesome. He's a funny recurring character and kind of an iconic Avatar character, but I don't think I could realistically put him in the higher tiers. But again, he is iconic and he's funny, so I'll go B tier for the Cabbage Merchant. Azula, I think, is the best villain in the series and a really complex character, so S tier feels good for her. Don't remember this dude's name, the Sandbender that steals Appa. We'll just go C tier for him because he's a good, you don't know him long, but you hate him for what he does to Appa. Gyatso, while really, really cool, is not in the show hardly at all, so we're going to put him B tier. We'll put him at the top of B tier, but kind of the same thing with Hakoda. He's in it more than the rest of these characters, but he's not really a major role. He's a cool character. I really like him, but B tier feels right for him. Hama is a character that, while only in one episode, has such a huge and cool role in that episode that, again, I think I'm going to go with B tier. Hama's really, really interesting to me, and I think that's a good spot for her. Haru is fine. He's only in a couple episodes, but he doesn't really have the lasting impact. I think I'll just go top of C tier for Haru. Zhang Zhang is not in a lot of the show, but man, he's a cool character. And I think that Zhang Zhang is deserving of A tier. I forget this character's name. She's fine. I don't dislike her. I don't love her. I think C tier is good for her. Jet, I actually do think, is a great side character with really good development. I think Jet deserves to be an A tier. You might disagree, but that's where I'd put him. Iroh, I'm not even going to talk about it. Judy is a cool and creepy character that serves her purpose, but I can't put any higher than C tier. June is going to be up here with these characters that are not in the show a lot, but a good impact on the show. Katara's great. I'm going to put Katara in A tier, towards the top of A tier. She's a great character, but she's not like, I really am not going to put many characters in S tier. Like, I think these three are deserving of it, but not a lot of characters are going to be in that tier. And like I said, Boomy, awesome character, but he's going to go in A tier. The Earth King is fine. Serves his purpose. Yeah, I think C tier is fine for him. Kyoshi's really cool, but we don't see a whole lot of her in the original show. Definitely above the B tier character, so I'll go A tier for Kyoshi. Long Fang, I think, is a great villain. Between B and A tier, I'll go B tier for Long Fang, but I think he, in season 2, is a really, really great villain. A lot of the Avatar: The Last Airbender villains, I feel like, are underrated because everybody thinks about Azula, but people kind of forget Long Fang and Admiral Zhao, who we'll talk about later. But I think those are good characters. I'm just gonna go ahead and you guys might hate me for this, but all the freedom fighters, they're kind of whatever to me. Like, they serve their purpose, they're cool as a group, but individually I just don't care about their characters. It is what it is with them. Mei is a cool character. I'll go A for Mei. The Mechanist, as the live action show calls him, I don't actually remember his name. I think he's a good character. He is unlikable in a lot of ways, but I think his storyline is cool and memorable. But we'll go top of C tier for him. I think that's a fair place for him. Ozai, while not as developed as Azula, I think is a slept-on character. I am gonna put Ozai at the top of B tier. I think it's okay for this show to have kind of an ultimate evil, like a big bad that is pretty irredeemable, that Aang, whose moral compass is so strong and he's so adverse to killing, has to figure out a way to deal with such a powerful but evil threat without abandoning who he is or his beliefs. So I think Ozai is a great villain, and I definitely wouldn't put him any lower than this tier. I'm tempted to put him in A tier, but we'll put B tier for him. Paku I think's good, but he can go in B tier. Same with Piandao. They're good characters. Roku I think is awesome. We see a good amount of Roku in the show. He's a great mentor figure for Aang, so A tier for him. Sokka's another A tier character. I love Sokka. I think his development's good throughout the series. His role as like the comic relief is awesome. We stand Sokka. We stand Team Avatar as a whole, because spoiler alert, they're all gonna rank high. Sozin's a cool character. He's more fleshed out than Ozai, and he's just a good foil to Roku. The glimpses that we see of their relationship and their dichotomy is really interesting and cool, and I enjoy it a lot. Suki's gonna go A tier. I think she's a really good character. She's in the show more than a lot of people would think. She's in quite a few episodes, and she's good. Teo is fine. I'll put him in C tier next to his dad. The Boulder is awesome. We'll go B tier for the Boulder. B for Boulder. Toph is gonna go S tier. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, but Toph is one of those characters that just, the show really hits an incredible stride. Whenever the gang adds Toph into the fold, the group just settles into itself and is the perfect Team Avatar. What we think of as Team Avatar doesn't exist until Toph gets there. She really completes it, and I think she deserves S tier. Ty Lee is great. She's also gonna go in A. Ursa, Zuko's mom, she's a good character, but we just don't see much of her. She has a big impact, but I think C is good for her. Shinfu is a cool villain, but just not that prevalent in the show. Same with this dude, I don't remember his name, but Yue is a character I like a lot. I think she adds a lot to the show and the story. She adds a lot to Sokka's character, and she's just a really interesting piece of world building and a character that I think is executed really well. We got Admiral Zhao, who, like Long Fang, I think is a great villain that is a lot of times slept on or underrated. I think Zhao is a really good villain in season 1. And then finally, we're ending with Zuko, and he is going to go in S tier. Maybe a hot take, but my current opinion is I think Zuko is the best character in the show. His development, where he starts compared to where he finishes, Zuko is just, everybody agrees Zuko's development is top notch, but he's an awesome character, and he really makes the show what it is. I moved a few characters around here. I moved Sokka and Katara up to S tier. I think that the 7 characters that I put in S tier are pretty well
perfect characters. And Avatar's such a great show. I mean, all of its characters, for the most part, are so well thought out. There's a lot of love that has gone into this show. If you disagree with where I placed some of these characters, or tell me a little bit about your favorite characters, by all means, you can do so in the comments below. So this is my ranking. I'd be down to do another tier list at some point, just based on like strength or something, like how powerful the characters are. I think that could be fun. But for now, this is my character ranking. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.